G'day, I'm Paul Murray. This is the beautiful Rita Panahi. Welcome to the Man Cave and welcome to Game Day, Dal.
Ooh, we've been waiting for this one, the great debate, and I don't know about you, but I've got a feeling Biden might surprise us. He may remain lucid. Whatever cocktail of drugs they've given him are going to get him through this.
Look, if there's one person who knows how to stay up all night, it's Hunter Biden. And Hunter's helping Dad out tonight. Finally, Hunter is actually useful. But I've got to say, my sense of this is that this is a game changer, but only for Biden. So, Jake Tapper, how do you think he's going to play it?
Jake Tapper, he's often held out as the CNN host who's the most impartial. He's the good one. But this is a man who almost cried tears of joy when Biden was declared a winner. He even said, this is the end of America's nightmare.
Ooh, here it is, here it is. Here it is, the debate. This looks all official. Oh, official presidential photos.
Oh, that airbrush, that Biden shot. When's that from? 40 years ago?
Oh.
We're live from Georgia, a key battleground state in the race for the White House. In just moments, the current U.S. president.
Do you think they'll shake hands?
The former U.S.
I think
president
so.
As their
be great if one of them just went, nah.
A first in American history. This is the CNN presidential debate.
This debate is being produced by CNN and is coming to you live on CNN.
We get it, CNN.
Okay, CNN. Let's see how many times can we say CNN in a 10-second intro?
Yeah. It'll help you for one night. One night.
Now, please welcome the 46th president of the United States, Joe Biden.
Oh, look at him. Look at that robotic.
Look at the walk.
There's no one there, mate. There's no audience.
Who's he pointing to? What's this about?
What is... Oh, no.
Oh, so there's not going to be any handshake?
What's he say?
Surely they have to come
And please
together.
welcome the 45th president of the United States.
And the 47th.
Donald Trump.
Oh, well, look at that. Strong. Come on. No stooping.
That's like how he walks out of the UFC.
Yeah, that is true. Look at this. Not looking at each other.
No handshake.
No handshake.
No handshake.
You want to impose a 10% tariff on all goods coming into the U.S.
Good.
How will you ensure that that doesn't drive prices even higher?
It's not going to drive them higher. It's just going to cost countries that have been ripping us off for years, like China and
China! China!
It's going to just force them to pay us a lot of money.
I miss the way he says China.
And give us a lot of power for other things. But
Sometimes I just think about how he says China.
I have no doubt.
I also gave you the largest regulation cut in history. That's why we had all the jobs. And the jobs
regulation, that's a good thing to talk about.
Okay, why is,
oh, hey, look at
Biden.
Biden. Oh, hang on. Computer loading thought. Computer loading thought.
Are the doctors close by? Because I am worried about... He looks like his... Oh, they took the camera off him because he looked...
Mercy for Biden. No.
Oh, here we go. Like, yeah, let's have a long shot of him. No, let's have the camera back on him.
No, keep it hard on him.
Like they have it hard on Trump whilst Biden talks.
With strength, with power. He got out. It was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country's life.
President Trump, over the last 8 years...
Oh, look at Biden. Look at his eyes. You see his eyes.
Record highs. And according to a new nonpartisan analysis...
Look at him.
Some of those drugs are drugging, and they're just interacting. They're interacting with each other in ways that...
So former President Trump, many of the tax cuts that you signed into law are set to expire next year. You want to extend...
Oh, the cutaways are brutal.
Deer in the headlights. That's something else. That's like a raccoon in the headlights.
Why should Topper...
Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID.
Oh no! Yeah!
Dealing with
breakdown.
Don's looking at him.
Don's going. I've won. I've won.
What? If we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden.
He's bailing
He did beat
him out.
Medicare. He beat
Let
it to
him
death,
talk.
and he's destroying Medicare because all of these.
Okay, this is Trump, not Trump v. Biden. This is Trump v. Tapper and Bash.
Correct.
And a little bit of Biden.
Destroy Social Security. These millions and millions
And he's still
of people
winning.
coming in.
Correct.
They're trying to put them on. He will wipe out Medicare. So he
That
will
cutaway is brutal.
And
He
it's a
looks
shame.
like he's
What's
about to
happened our
collapse.
country
Is there a
in the
nurse
last 4 years
nearby?
is not
I'm
believable.
genuinely
Foreign
worried for him.
countries,
This is
I'm
elder
friends with a
abuse.
lot of people.
The hair looks
They
real, though,
cannot
doesn't it?
believe what happened to the United
Oh, yeah, he's
States
got
of
the
America.
comb
No
over
longer
happening.
respected.
But what's
They
Don's
don't
hair
like
to the
us.
front? I don't
Way
like
too
it.
flat. It's like he's been wearing it.
Melania, get
They
on
think
top
we're
of that.
stupid.
It's like he was wearing a top hat on the way in.
What we're doing for other countries, and they do nothing for us.
The Supreme Court overturned
Roe versus
Roe v.
Wade, the white
yeah,
suffragette. Oh, you darling, oh, you, I'm out of here.
temporarily allowing
God.
emergency abortions to continue in Idaho.
Texas
Look at
is
the
facts.
different,
But then the
Florida's
cutaway.
different,
But
But
what's
they're all
happening
making
with
their own
Biden?
decisions right now. And right now,
He looks
the states
a
control
mix
it. That's
of
the vote of the
anger
people.
and
Like
and
Ronald
just
Reagan,
being
I believe
scared,
in
silly,
acceptance.
and
I am a
confused.
person that believes. And frankly,
As
Like he's
Re-
listening, right? Okay, so that's his listening face. But on television, in this format, that's death. Look at that.
Rape, incest,
Yeah, but you know
and
what?
the
Again,
life of the mother. I think
CNN
it's very
are,
important.
every time he
Some
looks
people don't.
particularly
Follow your heart,
bad,
but
they go
you
to
have
the
get
long
elected.
10
shot.
seconds, bang.
And they go,
Because
yeah.
that has to do with other things. You got to get elected.
Where in 6 weeks, you don't even know whether you're pregnant or not, but you cannot see a doctor, and have him decide on what your circumstances.
Have him decide. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
what about the lady doctors?
Oh, not in Joe Biden's world.
What about the lady doctors?
If
Including the one
Trump-
he's got in the Surgeon General's
If
office.
Trump said that, trust me, there would be 100 columns written about it tomorrow. No, today in an hour.
They would have already been written.
Press send.
Do you support any legal limits on how late
He doesn't- he
abortions
look at the
doesn't
snare!
like this
I support
question.
Roe v. Wade, which had 3 trimesters. The first time is between the woman and the doctor. Second time is between the doctor and an extreme situation. The third time is between the doctor, between the woman and the state. The idea
What did he just say? The 3 trimesters are not
No.
what he just said. Like, I'm a dude, and I know that's not 3 trimesters.
So it's between a woman and a state. No, she just said in 7 Democrat states
No limit.
you can get abortion 3rd trimester, and he's just come up with some other nonsense. He's not going to make the hour, is he?
Well, if it's a boxing fight,
That's not the right way to go.
I'm not going to throw a towel yet, but he hasn't scored many points.
Unless the cocktail starts sort of working better as the hour progresses.
You think he's just going to get it a bit looser in the second and just go, okay, let's go. Okay, loosey-goosey, loosey-goosey.
Total ban on the total initiative relative to what we can do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Yes!
We have the safest border in the history of our country. All he had to do is leave it. All he had to do is leave it. He decided to open up our border, open up our country to people that
doesn't know
are
what he
from
said.
prisons.
Yes.
People that are from mental institutions, insane asylum, terrorists. We have the largest number of terrorists coming into our country
Okay,
right now.
no,
All
this is
terrorists,
not
all
good.
over the world, not just in
Let's
South
go,
America, all over the
Brandon.
world. They come from the
Let's
Middle East,
go,
everywhere. All over
Brandon.
the world, they're pouring in. And this guy just left it open.
And he told me, he said, I don't want to go in there because they're a bunch of losers and suckers. My son was not a
Again,
loser.
here we go.
another
Here we go.
lie, the sucker's lie.
Oh,
President Trump?
Okay,
my-
good.
that's the
First of all, that was a made-up quote, suckers and losers.
He
They
went
made
full
it up.
Clint
It was in a
Eastwood then.
third-rate
Get off
magazine,
my
It's Family,
lawn.
Like many of these magazines. He made that up.
Yeah,
He put it
exactly.
in
That is an
commercials. We've
absolute
notified
lie
19 people that
created
said
by
it
an
and said, and think of this.
anti-Trumper.
Who would say,
And-
I'm at a cemetery or
Yeah,
I'm
good,
talking about
good,
our
good.
veterans? Because nobody's taking better care. I'm so glad this came
Yeah,
up.
thank.
And he brought it
He
up.
brought it up. Another lie.
There's nobody that's taken better care of our soldiers than I have. To think
Look at
that I
him.
would, in front of generals and others, say suckers and losers. We have 19 people that said it was never said by me.
Exactly.
It was made up by him, just like Russia was made up.
Yes.
Just like the
Hunter's
51
laptop,
intelligence
yes.
agents are made up. Just like the new
That was
thing
the
with the
last
16
debate.
economists are talking. It's the same thing. 51 intelligence agents said that the laptop was Russian
Yes.
disinformation. It wasn't. That came from his son
Biden
Hunter.
said it was Russian
It wasn't Russian
disinformation.
disinformation. He made up the suckers and losers, so he should apologize to me right now.
More than 1,000 people.
It's only half an hour in. We're a third in.
We've literally have not touched on crime and our time spent on illegal immigration you have record numbers every year under the Biden administration, millions coming in illegally. They spend minimal time on that.
Yeah, nothing. But get the economy out of the way, get immigration out of the way so they can do
Don't even look at crime.
30 minutes on January 6th, 30 minutes on
Ukraine and on abortion.
Yeah.
Israel's the one that wants to go. He said the only one who wants to keep going is Hamas. Actually, Israel is the one, and you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one.
President Biden, you have a minute.
Palestinian. That's the funniest bloody slur I've heard yet. Oh, here we go. January 6th. Drink. Actually, you've been pretty thirsty. It's the first mention. Because they know it doesn't have the impact anymore. People know what a nonsense this is.
So you are still charged with. And think of all the civil penalties.
Oh, sorry. Innocent until proven guilty? We're going to start talking about...
For molesting a woman in public.
What?
For doing a whole range of things.
Molesting a woman in public?
Having sex with a porn star on the night while your wife was pregnant.
Sex with a porn star's not illegal in the United States. Yeah, look at it. He's great. Good times. Good times.
I didn't have sex with a porn star, number one. Number two, that was a case that was started and moved. They moved a high-ranking official, a DOJ, into the Manhattan DA's office to start that case. That case is going to be appealed and won.
True.
We had a very terrible judge,
manufactured charges, Democrat DA, Democrat judge in a
93%
jurisdiction that voted 90% plus for Biden. Give me a break. When you're the president who has sought retribution in power against your political opponents, including Trump, then that whole argument doesn't carry that much weight. And, Trump should point that out. You know what? If Jake Tapper or Dana had any bloody journalistic chops, they may point that out. Say, trust in the justice system in this country is at historic lows because people feel that the justice system has been weaponized to take on your political opponents. Why are we not hearing that question from them?
100%.
Every question is framed in a way to suit Biden.
What American president would ever say Nazis coming out of fields carrying torches, singing the same anti-Semitic bile, carrying swastikas were fine people?
You wouldn't say that lie. Now, if Jake or Dana have any integrity, they will come back and correct that.
Jake, both of you know that story has been totally wiped out.
Debunked.
It's a nonsense story. He knows that, and he didn't run because of Charlottesville. He used that as an excuse to run.
President Biden?
And debunked. It happened.
Yeah.
It has been debunked.
He said there are very fine people on both sides, except for the neo-Nazis. He was talking about people who were saying these statues shouldn't come down. And those people, guess what? They were on the right side of history. They were right, because it didn't stop with those statues. Now they want to take down Lincoln and Jefferson. And they have in some places.
We saw with our own eyes. We saw what happened on January 6th.
We're going back to January 6th. Oh, he is bloody clutching at straws.
Wow. Firstly, are there any topics left? Chris Zeliza, who is the political director of CNN, right? Hosting the debate and obviously wants Biden to win. His review. It's hard to imagine this debate starting worse for Biden.
Well, they have tried to help him out as much as they can. This is 3 versus 1.
Well, let's go for round 2.
For example, I provided for the idea that any black family...
Joe looks paler in the second section. Do you think there's a chance he died in the advert?
I reckon whatever concoction he's on is going to see him not sleep for the next 3 days. He'll be fine.
I'm the one that got the insulin down for the seniors. I took care of the seniors.
Again, I don't think they've told Joe that because he looks genuinely confused. Look at him.
They want everybody. I have the biggest heart on the stage, I guarantee you that. And I want to take care of people. But we're destroying our country.
Oh, he's gone from bewildered to sneering.
But just to that silly
sneer, almost half smile.
Medicare and Medicaid.
I call it the Jack Napier from the 1989 Batman film.
It is a bit.
The idea is that everybody making under $170,000.
He's had
a week off. He's had a week off and he's come back sicker.
But this is a man who has been in politics for 50 years.
Yeah.
He was part of 8 years of the Obama-Biden administration. He's been president now for almost 4 years. If he wants to tax the rich, why hasn't that happened already? I mean, how can you trust anything he says now about what he's going to do?
And this is why, on his politics play around abortion, the first 2 years of his presidency, he had the House, the Senate and the presidency. He could have passed some national law if he wanted to. The same as the first 2 years of the Obama administration. Instead, it's always dangled as the reason to vote. So, Rita, this is how bad it's going for Joe Biden, okay? The Drudge Report, which in 2016 was way in on Trump, lost its brain, went way against in 2020, has pushed against him all the way. The Drudge Report, headline, Operation Replace Biden, Dems scramble with 130 days to go, debate catastrophe. Game over, bye-bye Biden.
And you have to be able to hit the ball a long way, and I do it. He doesn't do it. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. He challenged me to a golf match. He can't hit a ball 50 yards. I think
we're talking about golf now.
I feel that I'm as in good a shape as I was 25, 30 years ago. Actually, I'm probably a little bit lighter, but I'm in as good a shape as I was years ago. I feel very good. I feel the same. But I was willing to take a cognitive test. And you know what? If I didn't do well, I aced them. Dr. Ronnie Jackson, who's a great guy.
You know what? And he should say, I'm willing to have a drug test right here, right now. Do it on bloody camera. Jake, bring me a glass. Because I bet you Biden won't do that.
6'5" and only 223 pounds, or 235 pounds.
No, this is all MSNBC garbage.
Well, anyway, that's what anyway, just take a look at what he says he is, and take a look at what he is. Look, I'd be happy to have
Is he fat-shaming Trump now?
Yeah.
He is fat-shaming Trump.
On the behalf of the rotund fella.
Down to a 6.
I mean,
by the way,
Trump makes a good point because you
And
can't...
they're talking golf. This is ridiculous.
This is like bring Kim Jong-un into this debate.
It's a 6 handicap of all.
I was an 8 handicap.
Oh, stop. Enough.
But I have, you know how many...
I've seen you swing. I know you swing.
President Trump, we're going to turn.
Let's not act like children. I wish he was a great president. I would rather have that. I wouldn't be here. I don't mind being here. The only reason I'm here is he's so bad as a president.
From X. I've never seen someone murder a corpse, but that's happening right now on my TV.
We're a failing nation right now. We're a seriously failing nation.
All right. Third period. Last shot. Here's the deal. Biden won the coin toss, which meant he got to decide which side of the screen he was on. That means Trump gets to speak last, meaning the final word, the final push is Trump's. I call it the cherry on top. Stand by.
But isn't that ridiculous that he won the toss, the coin toss?
And he chose not to be the last word. He chose to be on the right-hand side of the TV. Didn't that help today?
Yeah. He could look bewildered this way as opposed to looking bewildered that way.
He now wants to tax you. What I did, when, for example, he wants to get rid of the ability of Medicare to... For the...
He's done.
That's it. Let's just stop this.
Well, guess what?
Finish.
Jill, where are you? Jill?
It's done.
It's going to be $35.
Get the men in white coats and let's just step in and stop this because this is not kind.
For senior, no matter what how much prescriptions they need. You know what that did?
Man.
That reduced the federal debt by $160 billion over 10 years.
What?
Because the government doesn't pay the exorbitant prices.
And
enough. Wrap it up, Janice. Wrap it up, Janice.
It's actually painful to witness. It really is. And you know what?
Everybody in America.
This is the bit that he has memorized and practiced, and
this was a week.
This he would have done with so many. Every word would have been carefully scripted, and we're still getting this.
We're going to continue to fight to bring down inflation and give people a break.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump, you now have 2 minutes for your closing statement.
We're in a failing nation, but it's not going to be failing anymore. We're going to make it great again.
Thank you, former President.
He saved it.
Great again. Yep.
Stay with us because we have full analysis of this debate.
It's over.
Anderson,
Yeah, we
Cooper,
don't
and
care.
Karen
Yeah,
Burnett.
here's your full analysis.
CNN. Yeah. You two were bloody horrid. And
Bye,
I'm not
Joe.
surprised.
Bye-bye, Joe.
It's hard to see how anybody outside the immediate Biden family would see that as anything other than Biden being embarrassed on a stage where he could not afford to be embarrassed because he's trailing in the polls, he's trailing in those crucial swing states. There's this movement now to replace him. They have a countdown happening. And he needed to put in a solid performance, and that wasn't solid.
The reason Joe Biden lost this debate, in terms of the optics and the feel and the TV talk, is the split screen, right? When Trump's talking, this sort of looking and angry and vacant and all of that. But more importantly, Trump had to show America he'd learnt his lesson from 4 years ago. He showed that tonight, right? No carrying on, basically barely sort of hit the bumpers in terms of interruptions, times, all the rest of it. However, Biden's, even when he was speaking, the long pauses, the faulty this, that and the other, he reinforced the central fear about his candidacy. So my prediction here is lefties go absolutely nuts about the format. They'll go crazy that there wasn't...
The format was formulated to help Biden. I don't know what they can go nuts about.
But watch them go on, there wasn't enough talk about January 6th, or there wasn't enough talk about criminal trials, all the rest. But here's my big prediction. There won't be another debate. There won't be another debate because Trump is in front already.
And I'll tell you why they didn't ask more questions about those criminal convictions, because they know it helps Trump.
Yes. Rita, an absolute pleasure to hang with you today. What a joy to watch a man die before our eyes, politically. So the only thing left would be a glass of lefty tears. See you in November.
There's a lot of people who are going to want to see him consider taking a different course now. And it's personally painful for a lot of people. It's not just panic, it's pain of what we saw tonight.
The universal reaction was somewhere approaching panic.
Really pains me to say this. They're 3 years apart. They seemed about 30 years apart tonight.
The entire room was just completely silent and in shock, and that this member's own reaction was that he wanted to jump off of a bridge.
I think there will be stories of a lot of concern about the performance tonight. And I think
When you say conversations happening, what do you mean?
I think people are talking, I think the conversations range from whether he should be in this race tomorrow morning to what was wrong with him.
It's kind of a DEF CON 1 moment.